Hey everyone, and welcome to another video here at The Last of Knives. I'm really pumped about this video because today we're looking at the first slip joint on the channel and also the first review of the year 2021. If you're looking for a dead simple slip joint knife with an affordable price, you should definitely stick around and see what it's all about, because I can tell you right now it's going to be really good. As usual, we'll be going over some of the knife's specs and features, and I'll be giving it a TLOK rating at the end of the video as well. So, cue the intro. This is the Artisan Cutlery Biome slip joint. Like I said, for those of you that are looking for a simple and useful yet affordable pocket slip joint knife, or even those out there who aren't really big slip joint fans, this one, you should definitely try getting your hands on one of them. So starting off the video by taking a look at the dimensions, like the knife's overall length and weight. The Artisan Cutlery is actually available with a few more different variants of itself. For instance, the Biome with a blue/gray G10 scales that CGRB commonly uses. There's also black G10 scales and also carbon fiber scales. And of course, these translucent green or natural G10 scales. All of these variants run you at the same price at around 38 Canadian dollars or 30 American dollars, except for the carbon fiber scales that actually runs you at around $1 to $2 more, coming in at only 41 Canadian dollars or 32 American dollars. So if you have a stronger connection with carbon fiber scales than G10, you'd have to pay about $2 extra more, which is not that much. So starting off with some of the features of the knife, and I'm going to start with the handle, specifically the simplicity of the handle. As you can see, there's not much to it, just 3 screws for the pivot and 2 for the body, which are, by the way, T6 if you're wondering, and that's basically it for the handle of the Biome. There is no lanyard hole drilled into the handle, no pocket clip or excessive screws, just simple G10 and 3 screws. Next, you have a nice curve on the bottom of the handle where you would place your middle and ring fingers. A sort of finger choil up here for the index finger, and a little spot here for your pinky, which I'm sure those of you with large hands will definitely enjoy. Handle is very slim, so you're not going to feel the knife fully fixed into your palm, but regardless of the slenderness, this knife has absolute great ergonomics for a thin knife like this one. I think these little finger grooves were designed and placed in an area well to guide you on how to grip the knife, and they're also not too noticeable, so you won't feel a huge bump or curve if your hands don't totally fit the shape of the handle. So you'll certainly feel the comfort of these G10 handles. And now next up, moving up to the blade, as you can see, it's a tumbled or stonewash finish, which you can find on many CGRB or Artisan Cutlery knives. Blade steel is surprisingly not D2 on this one. It's Sandvik 12C27N stainless steel. It's a good steel in my books, holds its edge well, easy to sharpen, good toughness and corrosion resistance. So no complaints there. I mean, it's a good folding knife steel, especially at this price. Blade length is below 3 inches at 2.75 inches, which is fine for restricted places and an ideal size for this knife. Behind the edge and blade thickness, definitely not thick. It comes down to a very thin edge, so you'll get that great slicing performance from this knife, and you have that flat grind as well. You also have this nail nick here, which you really don't need to use. The back spring allows you to pinch open the blade with little effort, but at the same time isn't enough for the blade to close on you. Even if you had to bear down on something, you can place your thumb back here and put a lot of pressure there, but you still wouldn't need to worry about it shutting on you unless you're like pushing down from an area closer to the tip. The whole action of closing and opening is pretty cool too, because it has a nice powerful snap into place. It also has a half stop, so obviously it stops halfway before closing fully, maybe preventing you from getting a cut, which is a nice safety feature. So I really enjoy that snappiness of the knife. Now another thing I highly value about this knife is how it carries in your pocket without any clip. First off, it's super thin, so you're not going to be seeing any bulging in the pocket, and it's not that tall at all, meaning it takes up little space and it's super lightweight, so chances are you'd probably forget this in your pocket until you take it out of the wash. Now as we take a look at the lanyard hole, which again, keeping that super minimalist aspect of the knife, rather than having a hole drilled through the handle, which would ruin the simplicity factor of the handle, you instead have this loop here. I'm pretty sure those paracord lanyards would be very difficult to get through the loop. Like I have this Wee knife or Civivi lanyard here, which definitely doesn't fit. So now let's give it a TLOK rating. Starting off with the ergonomics, for the handle, you have some nice places for the fingers to rest in, which are, like I said, designed great because it allows people with larger hands to grip the knife with all 4 fingers. Great ergonomics, especially for a slip joint knife, so I'll give it a good 7. Next, we have the blade. It has an okay steel, a nice thin blade that comes down to a very slicey edge, so you get a good overall slicing ability out of the blade. Corrosion resistant isn't the best here, but it is okay. It does get a very sharp edge, like I said, easily, so it gets a 4 in the blade category. For the pocket rideability, we're judging it by how light it's going to be, how much space it takes, and how comfortable it is in your pocket. Again, since it's so light at 1.4 ounces and also very slim, it's going to be practically invisible in your pocket. It has no pocket clip, so it's just meant to sit at the bottom of your pocket, and it also sits really nicely. You're barely going to feel it move around in there, so I'll give it a solid 9 for pocket rideability. This knife is very easy to function since it has no locking mechanism because it's a slip joint. The back spring tension is great because you really don't have to fight it a lot, but I still wouldn't say it's very easy. You can also use a nail nick if you wish to, but it's honestly pretty useless since you can easily just pinch it open. So the spring tension is done really great just so that you can open the blade without much effort, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about the blade closing on you. In terms of performance and how well this is going to actually perform when you're using it to cut something, I legitimately think it can handle pretty tough work because it has great slicing ability. It can also handle a little pressure when pressing down with your thumb, allowing you to bear down on something, which is a really cool thing about this knife, so I'll give it a 5 on viability. Since you can open and close this knife without fighting the back spring too much, the fidget friendliness is a little over average for this type of knife. Obviously, it's going to be hard to open this one-handed because it's a slip joint knife, which isn't really anything that would affect its fidget factor of the knife, at least for me. Like, even having to open this knife with 2 hands, I still think it's pretty fidgety. I just really find it satisfying to open because it's just so clicky, so it earns a 6 for fidget friendliness. The fit and finish of this knife is also really nice, and we're talking about like a $35 knife here, so very affordable. For instance, the blade is perfectly centered, which is always nice to see. All the parts of the knife fit perfectly. There are no gaps where parts come in contact. Just a really solid, well-built slip joint. Very impressive, so I'll give it an 8. For a budget knife, like I said, only $30 or $35, what you get out of this thing is great for what you pay for. It's so simple and easy to use, great ergonomics, decent steel, it just does its job well. Good thing to invest some money in if you're looking for an affordable slip joint knife that can get the job done. I'll give it a good 8 for value. The action on this knife is, like I said, very nice because how easy it is to just pull it open. You have a half stop for safety, but all in all, it closes and opens pretty nice, so I'll give it a 6. Next category is styling. Obviously, there's really not much to look at here because it's just a simple little tool without much going on. But other than that, I really like how classy this knife looks, so I'll give it a 4 in styling. I think the size of this knife, like how big the handle is just perfect. Just the right size and weight for the knife to just sit in your pocket without you noticing, but also large enough for you to get a full 4-finger grip. Those in more restricted places can also have the chance to enjoy this because the blade is under 3 inches, so it earns an 8 in dimensions. Adding all those up, we get a final and total score of 65 out of 100, making it the second highest position on the TLOK rating and also the second knife that I rated, falling short of only 2 points from the Civivi Hooligan. Anyways, if you're looking for a simple yet affordable slip joint knife that's able to handle hard tasks, this is the right or best choice in that $30 price range. Like overall, it's a fantastic slip joint knife and I think it's just perfect for any everyday task. You have a nice, simple and clean design, affordable price, ergonomics are just exceptionally great considering that it's a slip joint knife. Anyone can appreciate a knife that allows even people with larger hands to get a 4-finger grip, which this one has. Honestly, even those of you who aren't really into slip joints, I think you should at least give this one a try because there is a big chance you will really like this. So all in all, in my opinion, I think this is an excellent knife, and I really can't emphasize that even more. Ooh, I like that word. But yeah, I really recommend this knife to anyone wanting their first slip joint, or to anyone at all. So with that said, you guys, I really hope this video helped with your decision. Let me know what you think about the score that I gave this knife. Is it reasonable or not? Would it fit your EDC rotation? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider to hit the like button, subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other future EDC content. Thank you for watching, and until next time.